They'll never say this out loud, but most men today are painfully easy to ignore. Not because they're ugly, not because they're poor, but because they're forgettable. Men think they're the ones choosing. They scroll through dating apps. They follow red pill gurus. They write off women who turn 30 as expired. They laugh, call themselves the prize, and think that mindset makes them powerful. It doesn't. What they don't realize is, while they're talking about women losing value after 30, those same women have men lining up from 30 to 60. Because the game has changed. And they never got the memo. You see, a woman at 20 has attention from every man between 18 and 30. When she turns 30, those men simply age with her. At 40, she's still getting messages from men in their 50s, even 60s. As long as she maintains her looks, her options never really run out. But men, most are still stuck in the illusion of control, believing they're the ones with power, believing they're the ones rejecting. Meanwhile, they're slowly becoming invisible, forgotten, replaced. So let me ask you, how many of your moves with women are truly yours? How much of your confidence is real? How much of your attraction is earned? Here's the truth. You don't need to become a bad boy. You don't need to be rich. You don't even need to be good looking. You need to become undeniable, irresistible, not in the fake, manipulative way, but in the way that radiates strength, stillness, and masculine leadership. The kind of energy that women sense before you even speak. It's not about chasing women. It's about becoming a man they can't ignore. So in this video, we're going to destroy the lies, peel back the illusions, and rebuild what it means to be attractive through emotional discipline, stoic strength, and brutal self-honesty. Sound fair enough? Then let's begin. Number 1. The illusion of control. Most men walk around today convinced they're the ones holding all the cards. They think they're choosing, that they're in charge, that their attention is some priceless gift women desperately crave. But let me tell you a hard truth, it's just an illusion. Here's what really happens. While you're busy assuming you're in control, the women you're chasing have never had more power, more options, or more leverage. Social media has rewritten the rules. A woman in her 20s doesn't just have a few local admirers. She's got thousands, even millions of eyes on her. And when she hits 30, unlike what you've been told, her appeal doesn't vanish, it shifts. Suddenly, it's the men in their late 30s and 40s who see her as young, vibrant, desirable. This isn't meant to discourage you, it's meant to wake you up. The Stoics had it right all along. Control is an internal game. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Yet, men are out here losing sleep, losing money, and losing dignity chasing external validation from women who have already learned how to leverage their options. Stop playing the rigged game. The moment you chase, you become just another guy in her endless lineup of followers. The moment you believe you're choosing, you've already lost. Women can sense this desperation, this false confidence from miles away. Your real power isn't in pretending you're the prize, it's in genuinely becoming it. A man who understands true control never wastes energy trying to manage a woman's attraction. He invests in himself, he builds his boundaries, he masters his emotions. And from that inner strength, an effortless magnetism emerges. So let go of the illusion that you're controlling women, relationships, or outcomes. Focus instead on controlling your own thoughts, actions, and emotions. Become a man of stoic discipline. Because when you finally master yourself, you don't have to chase or pretend. The game shifts, and suddenly you become irresistible, not because you demanded attention, but because you command it. That's the real control. Number 2. The emotional trap of OnlyFans. Let's talk about something that most men avoid facing head-on. The emotional trap set by platforms like OnlyFans. Look guys, I get it. On the surface, it seems harmless. You follow a beautiful woman online, you send her a few dollars, and suddenly, you're getting personalized attention. She messages you, compliments you, and makes you feel special. But let me hit you with the brutal truth you might not want to hear. None of that is real. That special connection? It's a carefully constructed illusion, a psychological game designed to empty your wallet and leave you emotionally dependent. What's happening here isn't just about physical attraction. Men don't realize they're actually craving intimacy and connection, disguised as sexual desire. When a man pays for personalized attention, what he's really hoping for is validation, approval, and acceptance, the kind of emotional closeness he can't seem to find anywhere else. But here's the dark reality behind the curtain. Often, the person responding to your messages isn't even the woman you're paying to talk to. It could literally be some random guy halfway around the world typing exactly what you want to hear, turning your loneliness into profit. How's that for a harsh wake-up call? Think about the emptiness you feel afterward, the guilt, the shame. That heavy weight in your chest isn't coming from spending money. It's coming from knowing deep down that you've traded your dignity for a fake connection. It's your mind and soul telling you something needs to change. Stoicism teaches us that true connection, true intimacy, is rooted in authenticity and mutual respect, not manipulation and fantasy. Seneca once said, "If you really want to escape the things that harass you, what you're needing is not a new place, but a new perspective." So let's shift that perspective right now. Stop outsourcing your emotional well-being to strangers behind screens. Start investing that energy into building real relationships, real confidence, and genuine self-worth. Because when you stop chasing artificial intimacy and start creating something real, you become truly irresistible, someone worthy of authentic connections, instead of just paying for the illusion of one. Make sense? Let's dive deeper. Number 3. Pornography, the silent masculinity killer. Alright guys, let's get brutally honest for a moment, because what I'm about to talk about might feel uncomfortable, but it's crucial. Pornography isn't just some harmless pastime. It's quietly destroying your masculinity. Now before you roll your eyes, let me explain exactly why this matters. Why your potential, your self-respect, and even your confidence with women hang in the balance. Imagine this scenario. You're young, maybe 15, 20, 25. At first, you think watching porn is harmless, right? Just a quick escape from stress, boredom, or loneliness. But the problem is, porn isn't static, it escalates. The videos get more extreme, more unrealistic, more addictive. Before you know it, the normal things, real intimacy, real women, just don't do it for you anymore. This is the silent trap that nobody talks about openly. Because every time you watch porn, your brain is rewiring itself to seek easy, instant gratification. Why go out and build yourself up into a confident, successful, self-disciplined man when dopamine is just a click away? Why go through the discomfort of approaching a real woman when a fantasy can do the job instantly? And slowly, over time, this addiction erodes your very sense of masculinity. It robs you of ambition, kills your drive to develop meaningful skills, and weakens your capacity for real connection. You think you're in control, but you're actually being controlled by your impulses, your weaknesses, your urges. Stoicism challenges us directly here. Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Let that sink in. Freedom isn't indulging your desires, it's having the strength to resist what's harmful. Porn is the opposite of freedom, it's voluntary slavery. It's a cage you've built around yourself with every click. But here's the good news, you have the power to break free. And when you finally step out of this cage, you'll rediscover real strength, real confidence, real intimacy. Remember, your masculinity is measured by your ability to control your desires, not be controlled by them. Time to reclaim your strength, your self-respect, your masculinity. Number 4. What women secretly find irresistible. Alright guys, let's cut straight through the noise for a second. You've probably heard the usual advice. Get in shape, get rich, buy nice clothes. And yeah, all that stuff helps, but let's be real, none of it makes you truly irresistible. So let me give you the cold, hard truth about what women really find magnetic, and it's not what you think. The secret isn't muscles, money, or a killer smile, it's boundaries. Real, unshakable boundaries. Here's what most men don't get. Women test men. It's not malicious, it's instinctual. They challenge you, subtly pushing you to see if you'll fold under pressure. And most men, especially the nice guys, collapse at the first sign of tension. They become pleasers, saying yes when they really mean no, terrified of losing her approval. But here's the kicker. Every time you cave in, you become just a bit less attractive in her eyes. Every time you compromise your values or your principles to keep her happy, she trusts you a little less. Why? Because deep down, what women genuinely crave from you isn't agreement. It's stability, certainty, and strength. It's knowing that you're someone who can hold your ground, even if it means disagreeing with her. A man who's confident enough to stand firm in his beliefs is instantly more trustworthy, more attractive, more magnetic. Think about Marcus Aurelius, one of history's greatest Stoics. He once said, "The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane." Translation? Don't just agree to please others. Have the strength to stand alone if necessary. When you start enforcing your boundaries, women won't just notice, they'll respect you. They'll feel safe with you, knowing you're strong enough to lead, stable enough to trust, and confident enough to respect yourself first. So, stop bending over backward to be liked. Stop compromising who you are. Draw clear lines, stand by them firmly, and watch how quickly you go from forgettable to unforgettable. And trust me, that's exactly what makes you truly irresistible. Number 5. Masculine energy versus people-pleasing. Let's get real here for a minute, because this is one of those traps that most guys fall into without even realizing it. People-pleasing. Here's how it usually goes down. You meet a woman you really like, and suddenly you're bending over backwards just to keep her happy. She says she likes guys who text back quickly, so you immediately reply to every message. She says she hates sports, so you suddenly lose interest in football. Before you even notice, you're no longer yourself. You've become a reflection of what you think she wants. But here's the cold truth you need to hear. No woman can truly respect or feel attracted to a man who has no backbone. Why would she? You've essentially told her your entire identity is negotiable. Your likes, dislikes, values, all up for debate if it means she'll smile your way. Women aren't attracted to men who become mirrors. They're attracted to men who can stand independently, who have opinions, preferences, and beliefs, even if it means occasionally disagreeing or making her slightly uncomfortable. Stoicism has a lesson here too. Seneca once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." You imagine rejection and loneliness if you dare to stand your ground, but in reality, setting firm boundaries often makes people respect you more, not less. Being masculine isn't about aggression or stubbornness. It's about clarity, knowing exactly who you are, what you stand for, and holding on to that, even if it's inconvenient. It's not fearing that she'll walk away, because deep down, you understand that losing yourself just to keep her is a far bigger loss. So stop being afraid of disagreement. Embrace your own opinions. If she challenges you, meet her confidently, calmly, and firmly. And here's the funny thing you'll quickly discover. The more authentically yourself you become, the more magnetic you'll be. Because a man who knows who he is, one who doesn't compromise his identity to win approval, becomes irresistible. Not just to women, but to everyone. Ready to keep building that inner strength? Number 6. Looks, money, and real value. Alright guys, let's cut through another myth that's holding you back. This idea that having money, cars, or perfect looks is what truly makes you valuable as a man. Now, I won't pretend these things don't matter at all. Of course they do, especially in today's superficial dating scene. But let me tell you this clearly, relying solely on looks and money is a losing game. Because here's the cold reality. There will always be someone richer, better looking, taller, or with more status than you. Always. So what actually matters? Well, it's not your bank account or your gym selfies. It's your inner sense of worth and self-respect. It's the value you place on yourself through the discipline you cultivate every single day. It's waking up early, working on your purpose, staying physically and mentally sharp, not for the approval of women, but out of respect for yourself. The Stoics remind us that external validation is fleeting and out of our control. Marcus Aurelius taught, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Real value isn't external, it's built through daily habits, discipline, and relentless self-improvement. Ironically, the moment you stop chasing superficial approval and start genuinely taking care of yourself, your body, your mind, your mission, you instantly become more attractive. Women sense this self-respect, this subtle but undeniable inner strength. They see a man who doesn't need validation to feel complete, and that makes you different from almost everyone else. So, invest deeply in yourself. Train, study, grow, not to impress others, but to honor your own worth. Money and looks might attract initial attention, but real value, rooted in self-respect, discipline, and purpose, is what creates genuine, lasting attraction. And trust me, once you've got that down, the rest comes naturally. Number 7. Leadership and love. Now here's something most guys misunderstand completely, what it means to truly lead in relationships. A lot of men think leadership means controlling their partner, deciding every little detail, or being the loudest voice in the room. That's not leadership, that's insecurity masked as dominance. True leadership in love isn't about power, it's about responsibility. It's about having clear direction, confidence, and calmness, especially when things get tough. Because guess what? Life will test your relationship, and when it does, women look instinctively toward a man who can remain steady. Let's paint a quick picture. Imagine coming home after a rough day. Your partner is stressed, anxious, maybe overwhelmed. A weak man retreats, complains, or worse, gets emotional himself. But a leader steps forward. He listens, he reassures, and he sets a clear path forward. He doesn't need to shout or command. His presence alone calms the storm. The Stoics emphasized that true strength lies in our responses to challenges. Epictetus said it perfectly. Circumstances don't make the man, they merely reveal him to himself. Leadership means responding confidently and calmly, no matter how chaotic things become around you. And here's the secret. Women deeply desire to trust your leadership. They want to know that in a crisis, they can depend on your strength, not physical strength, but emotional and psychological stability. They crave a partner who has a vision for the future, who makes clear decisions, and who isn't afraid of the responsibility that comes with guiding a relationship or a family. So, stop seeing leadership as a burden or as domination. Instead, embrace it as the cornerstone of your masculinity and your relationships. When you accept responsibility for leading with compassion, clarity, and inner strength, you won't have to demand respect or loyalty. You'll naturally inspire it. And that's what real leadership looks like. Number 8. Infidelity and the price of weak boundaries. Alright guys, time to talk about a difficult truth that might sting a little. I'm talking about infidelity and why weak boundaries set you up for disaster. We've all heard the flashy narratives online. Successful men bragging about having multiple girlfriends, telling you it's a sign of strength, power, and status. They say, hey, as long as you're financially providing, what's the harm? Well, here's the harm they never tell you about. The kind of women who accept that lifestyle aren't there because they genuinely respect or love you. They're there because they're benefiting from it. They're investors, waiting patiently to cash out at your expense. The moment your resources dry up, or when a better offer comes along, they're gone, leaving you empty, confused, and alone. But the deeper damage is this. Every time you compromise your values or betray trust, you're silently destroying your self-respect. Marcus Aurelius put it best. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Being a good man isn't about having options or flaunting them. It's about loyalty, discipline, and integrity. Women who genuinely love and respect themselves won't tolerate betrayal, not because they're insecure, but precisely because they have healthy boundaries. They'll walk away immediately, leaving behind only those who see relationships as transactions, not genuine connections. The Stoic lesson here is simple but powerful. The freedom you truly desire doesn't come from indulgence or superficial pleasures. It comes from self-control and integrity. Loyalty, trust, and mutual respect form the foundations of real strength and lasting relationships. When you set strong boundaries and refuse to betray your own principles, you create an environment where trust and respect flourish. And ironically, this self-discipline is exactly what makes you incredibly attractive, someone worth building a future with. Remember, true masculinity is measured not by how many women you can attract, but by your ability to remain steadfast to your values. Alright, let's tie this all together. If you've stuck with me this far, you're ready to hear the bottom line, the real secret behind becoming a genuinely irresistible man. Here it is, you never, ever chase women. You don't chase approval, you don't chase validation, and you definitely don't chase superficial connections. Instead, you become a man of discipline, integrity, and unshakable inner strength. You create a life so powerful, so purpose-driven, that women simply can't ignore you. Think of yourself like a lighthouse. It doesn't chase ships, it stands firm, shining steadily, guiding the way. Those who recognize your worth will naturally gravitate toward you, attracted not by games or tricks, but by your consistent, calm, and confident presence. And here's the Stoic secret underneath it all. It's never about controlling the world around you. It's always about controlling yourself. Epictetus reminded us, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. So stop obsessing over things you can't control, women's approval, society's expectations, or temporary pleasures. Shift your entire focus inward. Build self-respect through disciplined habits, maintain strong boundaries, and pursue your mission relentlessly. Because the reality is simple. The moment you stop chasing and start growing into your true self, the entire dynamic flips. Women will sense your authenticity, your strength, and your self-assured calmness. You'll no longer be another forgettable guy, They'll recognize something rare, something genuine, something undeniably irresistible. That's the kind of man worth becoming, not just to attract women, but to live a life of genuine meaning and fulfillment. So now it's up to you. The path is clear. No more chasing, no more illusions. Just you, building yourself into the man you were always meant to be. Sound fair enough?